Guys, this is Julie Becker, and we are starting the Women of TopTeam Hangout. I'm just checking to make sure that this is starting over on the main page, so give me a little second here to do that. Yep, okay, I can see that we're live. So just my little thing. I just like to double check and just make sure that we are live so that I know that people can see us, hear us, and that we are broadcasting. Let me just this a little bit here. Thank you for everybody who's joining us tonight on this Hangout. We have these every single week on Wednesday evenings, and we are the Women of Top Team. We have different panelists on every single week, and we discuss different topics with respect to our e-commerce and online businesses. And the reason we do that is to kind of, let you know what we do, how we do it, what to expect, things that we go through, things that we deal with, triumphs that we have, and just to share that with you. And again, the reason for doing that is to just let you know that we are real people just like you. I'm not going to say we're not extraordinary people, because we've got some great people in this team, but we don't have any extraordinary superpowers. Okay, we're just people who have just focused and done the work and do, and we're just here to share information with people and just show you again, we're real people in our real lives, doing this and making it work. And the whole purpose of these Hangouts is to just share that information with you. And tonight I have Letitia Merlin with me, and we may have a couple of other guests joining with us tonight. Some people are under the weather due to sickness and some other things going on. I know it's that time of year when the weather's going up and down and things are changing quite a bit. So we may have a couple people join us. So if so, just be patient if they pop in and we get them settled. But one of the things that we're going to talk about tonight, or the main thing that we're going to talk about tonight, is the fears that we had getting into this business, things that scared us about it, things that made us really uncomfortable about it. And then after we went ahead and got involved, we're going to kind of talk about the change in perspective, what things maybe still make us nervous or scare us, and maybe what things are not as scary as what they thought they were. And so we just wanted to spend some time doing that, because I know this is new for a lot of people. It's a different kind of business model and a different thing to look at for some people. So you may have some fears about getting involved in e-commerce or starting up an e-commerce business, and we certainly would like to address that. And also, I'm going to try to, when other people are speaking, I'm going to try to monitor the chat box. So if you have concerns or fears or things like that we're not hitting upon, that you maybe want us to bring up or expound upon a little bit more, feel free to do that. I'm going to monitor that as best I can. It looks like we have Tiffany. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and I'll do my best to monitor the chat box. I'm going to go ahead and it looks like we may have maybe Fontella Williams as well joining us. I'm not sure. Fontella, can you hear me? I don't know if she can hear or not, but we're going to go ahead and just go ahead and get started with that. And the person who we bounce ideas off each other every single week to see what kind of topics we want to cover and talk about and share with y'all. And Letitia actually brought this up, and I thought it was such a great topic. I was like, we definitely need to cover this. We definitely need to talk about it, because this is just real. This is something that a lot of people are going to be able to relate to. So, Letitia, I'm going to go ahead and let you start off, because I know you have some stuff to say about this. And hey guys, look at Letitia. She's on video this week. She is like jumping out and getting it out on video. So I'm just going to stop yammering now, give the mic over to her, and let her take it.
Hi guys. So yeah, getting into a new business, especially one that is all about what I do and what my husband does, was super scary for me. I didn't have a clue what we were going to do. And I don't know, I don't like unknowns, and I definitely don't like wondering, like not knowing how is this going to work, are we going to be able to do it? And one of the things Lori had said while we were like setting up was, am I going to be able to make this work full time? Am I going to work so hard that to make just a little bit of profit? And those were definitely big concerns for me, because we have 3 children, and I have been going to school for the last 4 years, and so to think that all that was going to be like put on hold to try something new that might not work was definitely something I was very apprehensive about. Um, but my husband, he was so on fire for this. He was like, we can do this. This is going to work. Like, he was like, it just really is something that I think that we should jump out there and do. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to trust you. We're going to try this and we'll see what happens. And as we went along, and I saw that the trainings really were there, and the trainings are great, and the support groups are great, and I definitely like that if I have a question, it probably has been asked already, and if it hasn't, somebody else has been waiting for it to be asked. So that's always a nice thing. And as we just really work on it and grow, it just gets easier. Like, it's not a struggle to learn the system for me, which I thought it would be. I was like, I like to shop. I don't like to sell things. I couldn't ever see myself being a salesperson. But I'm really not a salesperson. I don't have to deal with crowds. I don't have to deal with masses of people. I mean, there's so many few customers that get a hold of me for issues, that the few that do, it's actually kind of pleasant. And I really feared that with the fact that I was doing school and already working a job, that I would not have any time for my kids. But I'm able to do this when the kids are sleeping, when they're at school, and I actually have got more time for them, which has been a huge bonus and has definitely made me want to do it more. I don't know, that was my biggest thing, was can I do it, which I can, and I am doing it, and would it be too time consuming for my already tight schedule? And it actually has opened up my schedule and given me more free time with my family, which is always a major goal for me. I don't know, has anybody got any input?
No, that's awesome information, and really good points that you brought up, because I myself have when I originally got involved, had some of the same concerns. I think for women especially, usually we're multitaskers, right? And we're taking care of a lot of different things at once. Some of us even work full time or have other jobs in addition. Some of us have small children or children that require, even if they're teenagers, a lot of activities and a lot of things going on. And I know for me, when I first got involved, I wasn't concerned about whether or not I could do it, because it looked like it was pretty simple. But honestly, I was in the internet marketing space, and I guess I looked at it like, honestly, what went through my head was, man, I don't want to deal with customers. I don't want to deal with customers, and the minutia of all that detail, and like, I don't want to be like in like crazy like complaining customers all day is what I thought, just to be honest.
I completely agree with you on that one.
I was
definitely what I didn't want to deal with.
I was like, oh, that's why I'm on the computer, because I can distance myself from that. I don't have to do that. So that was a fear that I had, and also one of the things that you had brought up too, and I know we discussed this a little bit beforehand, was, in the beginning, some of the information that I had looked at and some of the way it was explained was that, you can make $5 a sale, $10 a sale, and then these things can add up. And really what was going on in my head was, well, I, I'm, I don't want to just make $100 a month, although $100 is cool, but I mean, I was looking for executive type income, and I'm thinking, how many hours am I going to have to work, and am I going to be working lots of hours dealing with all these annoying customers and making like $300 or $400 a month? I said that's just not what I'm looking for. So that was very much a concern, and again too, time is a big issue to me. I do have small children at home still, and I'm involved in several other things, volunteer things. So and I have to I don't live close to town. We live out in the middle of the country, and we send them to a private school that's like 25 minutes away. So I'm to and from the car, bringing them to school in the morning, dropping them off, and then coming back to the house, and then I do other things, and then it's back to school to pick them up, take them home, and get them. And then there's activities back to. So sometimes, really, literally, I'm in the car 3 hours a day, sometimes 4 if I have to keep going back for different things. So time was a major concern to me. I'm definitely a person, and probably everybody on here is going to say, I mean, I don't mind working hard. I don't mind working hard, but I don't do too good without much sleep. Especially, I can do it for like 1 or 2 nights, but if it's continuous, man, I'll just turn. I can't even function. So those were all big concerns for me too when I got involved. But then as I got involved, like you said, Letitia, I figured out, wow, I had it all built up in my head that it was a whole lot harder than it what actually was. You really don't hear from customers as often as you think you're going to, and when you do, 9 times out of 10, it's good dealings. They're just looking for some information, and if you're super sweet and nice, most of the time, things are really, it's not bad. It's not as bad as you think it is, as you think it potentially might be. So that was a huge relief. Also, yes, I am able to do this very part-time. So that was a huge burden that came off my shoulders, because I definitely, juggle a lot of things. I juggle volunteer work. I juggle other activities that I am, my kids, and everything else. And it's important to me, again, to have the time with the kids, to have that time freedom, and not be spread so thin that I just can't keep track of anything and that I can't do anything well. So I was really actually pleasantly surprised by how easy it was once I focused and I took action, consistent action, and just stuck with it, because then things do start happening, and that's another thing that, I'm pretty good at being patient. And I will tell you guys, I was talking to a team member the other day, and it was so awesome. It was so awesome. She's been taking consistent action, working really hard, and she said, I just love the fact that I'm seeing measurable progress. And I'll tell you, you see it a lot faster. I was wondering how fast I was going to see it with e-commerce, but I promise you, my experience was that I saw results a lot faster than when I first got involved with internet marketing and trying to do that into affiliate marketing and all that other kind of stuff. You'll go months with seeing nothing. I promise you, that's the normal story. And a lot of you on this call, if you're in that field or if you've done that, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And you'll see results a lot quicker here. And if you just stay consistent, that's what I love. You're going to start seeing measurable results, and you can grow upon that and grow a foundation. But anyway, I've been talking for a little few minutes here, and I want to hand it off again. And I think Tiffany is on the call. Tiffany, you want to come out and give us your thoughts on some of the fears and the issues and the concerns that you had before you got involved with e-commerce, and what that looks like now? I don't know if she can see me. Fontella, can you hear me? We've got a couple people on. I'm trying to get them out here. You have to unmute yourself. You guys are on mute. You can go up to the top screen, the top of the screen. There you go. There she is. Okay, it's okay. That's all
having
right.
technical difficulties with this phone.
Sometimes, I mean, doing the Hangout on the phone is a little bit different than doing it on the computer, so it's good. I'm just going to go ahead and mute myself now. But yeah, if you can give us your perspective on some of the concerns or fears that you had before you got involved with this business, and what were some things in the back of your mind that you were nervous or worried about, and then just tell us what your experiences has been. That would be great.
Well, my biggest fear was when was the money going to start rolling in? I was afraid that I was going to be just putting my money into another fad, for the lack of the word, and I was just I was afraid, I was scared. So I was asking Valir, um, what, how long is it going to take, and why am I not making sales, and how come no one is looking at my products? And he would say, Tiffany, you have to be patient, it'll come, it'll come. Well, sure enough, about after a month, out of the blue, I was at work. Yes, I do work full time. I heard the cha-ching, and I'm like, oh my God, what is that? What is that? And I got the email saying that I had made a sale, and I'm like, oh, goody. And then came the other fear of, well, oh my goodness, actually run this now, because yes, of course the customer's gonna come and, oh my goodness, what do I say to these people? That like, crap, I didn't sign up for this. This is like, it's too much. And I'm running out of time, and it's information overload, and oh my goodness, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Well, when I took the time to breathe, and then I started following the steps of the blueprint that Mr. McCoy put out for us, and started following the time management skills, then I started to see my time free up. I was able each day to work on a different task, and I could do it before work. After I actually would check things while I was at work. When I came home, I was able to also go right back to where I started and list or do whatever the task was for that day. You're able to put in as much time as you need, and yes, it does free you up to be able to do other things. Like I said on the previous Hangout, I am very active in my church, in my community. I work with the little ones, and this actually, it gives me money as well to buy different, supplies that I need to be able to complete different things. So I'm excited about that. And then two, we have an awesome group where we're able to pull on each other for information, and it's just awesome. But yes, the biggest fear I actually had was achieving, and I think a lot of people are afraid of success. Having that what if, what am I going to do with all of it? I'm just embracing everything that comes my way, and I just want everyone to do what we did. Take the opportunity, go in. Yes, you're going to be afraid, but just jump into it. I mean, I just want everybody to just jump into it. Do it because it's needed. It'll change your life for the better, not the worse, for the better. Good stuff.
Awesome comments. I'm so glad that you got it, and you made some really good points too. Some really good points. So I'm so glad that you were able to get on tonight and share those with us because, that is another thing, people, they're afraid of, like, they look at it and I think they think there's too many steps.
Yes.
But shoot, man, if you get involved, right? If you get involved with internet marketing or affiliate marketing, and people are like, "Oh, press this button," Robin will tell you the same thing. You know what? There's like 5,000 steps and like a million different ways you can market. You try to make a blueprint out of that, and everybody says there is one, and there really isn't. It depends on what your, what your talents are. So these steps are easy to follow and they're mapped out, and everyone can follow the same steps. So that was, when I actually got into the training and I saw the steps, I mean, that was one thing I will say. I was worried about how complicated the steps were, especially when you're getting started out in drop shipping on eBay, which is our beginning model. I was actually very calmed and impressed by how well the steps were laid out and how easy they were to follow. Because that simplifies things a lot. And sometimes, yes, you can be a little scared. Like when the first sale comes in, you're like, oh my gosh, I hope I don't mess this up. Oh, really, that's what everybody feels. I mean, you get that. It's like nervous. You're like super, yay! You're like super excited and super like, oh no, please don't let me mess this up at the same time. and that's like, and it's like that for everybody. But then you do it, and then you do it a couple times, and then it just becomes second nature. It becomes very easy, very doable, and then it's something that you look back and giggle about because it's so funny. But you can appreciate that when you're talking to new people who are coming on board and getting involved. We all felt that same thing too. So if you're new to it and you're on this Hangout, do understand that even those of us that have been doing it for a while, we all experienced that. We all went through like the panic of, oh, what do I do? But that's why we have this team. That's why we have our support group, our top team group. That's why we have this community, because when things do come up and you're not sure how to handle it, and maybe you just can't calm yourself down long enough to look at the training and you're a little freaked out, you got your family here to bounce some things off of and say, what do I do now? And you see that in the groups. You see people asking questions and looking for support, and that's what we're here for. Because sometimes you just do get a little nervous. You feel a little overwhelmed, even though you have things that are right there. And it's just nice to know that you have support right there, and they can say, oh no, it's right in this training. It's easy to follow, and here's the script. And so we got your back. And once you get through the steps, like Tiffany said, I mean, it's a little, you tell yourself in your head, oh no, I can't handle it, but really you can. It's just like, it's something new, and it's just something you have to learn. But I'm telling you guys, once you can learn it, I mean, it just becomes easier and easier and easier. And Letitia said it too. It's just like every day it becomes easier. It becomes more repetitive, and then you can start doing things faster. You're much more comfortable. Then you can start to see how it's going to become scalable, because now you're more comfortable. Now you can, and you can, like I said, do things faster. You can manage your time better. And Tiffany brought that up too. So yeah. So there's a, go ahead, jump in.
I just wanted to add that I really want people to have an open mind about this. I was just thinking that I had to have an open mind to be able to be coachable. That's the most important. We have to remain coachable to the point where we can't build up a wall and think that we're on an island by ourselves, and we have this big elephant, this big thing that we've taken on, and we feel like we're by ourselves. No, that's not the case. Because, I find myself getting to that point, and I have to, bring myself back to say, hey, I have a family that I can reach out to, and they're there to help me. So let's get out of that funk, and let's ask these questions. there's nothing you cannot ask. If you don't ask that, now that's on you. But we hope that you wouldn't do that to yourself. Ask questions. Have an open mind.
Really great points. That's a really great point too. And being coachable really is, you know, it is huge. You sometimes have to get out of your own way. I can be a person sometimes that, and I know we touched on this really briefly before. You know, some of the obstacles that people have are being able to ask for help. That's actually a strength. You know, that's a strength to be able to do that. Because if you don't know, and you're going to sit there and beat your head against a wall, and you know, you're spinning your wheels, and you don't have to. You've got people to reach out for. There are no dumb questions. Everybody was a beginner. Every single person was a beginner at one point, and there are people there to help you. We're there to help you, and no, you know, no questions are off limits. You know, we understand that sometimes people get a little nervous and that sometimes they get a little overwhelmed, and we'll walk you through stuff. We'll show you where things are, so you don't have to be nervous about that. But really, really great point, Tiffany, because I know sometimes people do have a tendency to look at it that way and be like, no, I got it. I can figure it out myself. I can do it. And I'm definitely one that's like that. I mean, I love to figure things out myself. I mean, I like to problem solve and do that. Usually what happens though is that when I start I'm like, oh, I've spent an hour on this and nothing's happening. I start going and asking questions. I'm like, oh, weren't you one that told yourself that time was so important to you? Why are you sitting here doing this when you have people you can ask? So I got to get coached from time to time too. Still, that's just the way it is. Fontella is messaging me, and I wanted to bring her out too, and she's telling me that she can't get her mic to work, and sometimes it's a little tricky. Fontella, if you can hear me, sometimes I know people have told me that if they're on a Windows machine, when you go to that little setting up at the top, when you click on microphone, sometimes people have to, can on my PC, oh, you're on your laptop. Sometimes people are, okay, Georgia is saying that she couldn't get on from her PC. She had to get on from her laptop. And I know some people tell me that they actually have to put on headphones and actually plug headphones in. I think Robin has to do that. I don't understand. Some of the computers are just quirky. I don't know. Wait, I hear some noise.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, if you can just turn it up a little bit, I can hear you, but you're very, very, very weakly.
What about now?
I can barely hear you. You're like a mouse.
Really? Okay, wait. What about now?
You gotta get some volume on you.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. It's getting better. Can you crank it up a little more?
Okay, I have it turned all the way up.
Okay, now you just gotta stick your face in the computer like this.
Okay, is this better? Now is it a little better?
That is a little bit better. I'm gonna mute myself so people can hear you.
Okay, I want to make, yeah, I don't know what's going on with the volume on this computer. I've got it up as high as I can get it, so is that a little better?
Yes, it is. It is.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so just wanted to piggyback, and I want to make sure I'm on the right train of thought here. I know we were talking about fears in terms of getting started with the business and joining the business, and you know, are we talking about just from building the e-commerce side, or from the affiliate side, or both?
Well, we were focusing a lot on the e-commerce side because most of us, when we're sharing the business, we're basically sharing it from the standpoint of being able to come in and build your e-commerce business. And you know, a lot of people don't want to do affiliate marketing, although
Yeah.
that's scary in itself. So we've been basically focusing on the e-commerce part of it. But you can just, you can share whatever you want about, any kind of fears that you had before you got involved with with the business. Go right ahead.
Okay, yeah. I'll go and stay in that same vein in terms of e-commerce. I know you were talking about, Julie, having come from the internet marketing side or MLM side, and I myself came from that same background before. Well, initially, of course, it was DSD that came out, and I know myself and Jeff and anyone that has come from that arena, typically we have had a lot of failures. We've had a lot of things that we've gone through in terms of building other network marketing companies and everything that goes along with that. It could be a change comp plan. It could be trying to recruit people. It can be not getting help from a sponsor, or just kind of trying to build and not having success. And I know I had been with several network marketing companies and MLM companies. I also did internet marketing. I did SEO. I did all of that, and it went extremely well until, Google changed their algorithms. And I think for me, I actually, Jeff and I were friends, and I actually watched Jeff post about DSD for several months. I know it was at least 4 to 5 months before I really pulled the trigger, because you kind of just get tired of seeing the hype. And I'm not one to jump, and make a decision from hype. And so I kind of wanted to sit back and see, okay, here we go, because all of a sudden here's another business that's blowing up my news feed. And so you kind of, I was gun shy because, I didn't really know if it was legitimate. It was what is this making money on eBay, making money? What are they talking about? And really, I wanted to just watch to see if the hype was going to die down. And it didn't. And, Jeff kept posting, because Jeff is the king of consistency. And so, eventually, it got my attention and I signed on. And I will tell you, e-commerce is, to me, having coming from several years of internet marketing, network marketing, it's the easiest thing to do on the internet. It is the easiest way to make money. I can vouch, you're not going to find an easier business than e-commerce, especially, being able to come in and starting at the level of eBay, if that's the level you're going to start in. It's very low cost, very low startup. You can really structure it in a way where you're not out of money at all. And so I really, if that is someone's fear, maybe they have been in so many businesses, it's just like, not another one. Or they're apprehensive that it could really, work for them, or that they're going to have the same failure that, they experienced before. And, if that is the case, or if that's what you're thinking, I can tell you that you can really put all of that to the side, because in e-commerce, it's all about you. It's all about, are you doing the work? Are you doing the training? In TopTeam, we have, I think, the best training. We have the best support group. It's not about, your sponsor. It's not about, well, someone told me they were going to sign up and they didn't sign up. It's not about that. It's just about you following the training. And if you watch the news, or, keep up with business, e-commerce, guys, we're really at the tip of the iceberg. Where e-commerce is going in the next 5 to 10 years, it's really going to blow your mind. So I really don't care what platform you get on, if it's eBay, if it's Amazon, if it's Shopify. You really need to be in e-commerce, because you really can write your own check. There's no limit to the amount of money that you can make in this industry. And a lot of times in other businesses, there are so many other factors at play. But with e-commerce and Efinii, there are no other factors. We drop ship. that's our business model. You know, you don't come out of pocket. Someone buys something from you, and then you go and buy it. You know, so if that is your fear of, you know, just really stepping out into something new, or stepping out into another venture, or, you know, really not knowing if it's going to work, I will tell you there's absolutely no way that it cannot work. If you follow the training, if you follow the steps, if you're consistent, if, you know, you do what Tiffany said early in terms of reaching out and asking questions, if you get to a point where you're stuck, there is no way that you will not be successful with this business model. And I know there are other teams in, you know, in Infinii and in the company, but like I said, I know here at Top Team, we have one of the best support groups around, period. You know, the stuff that we give out, the stuff that's available in Top Team for free, you just won't find that other places. So, you know, there's really, as I said, I want to be repetitive and redundant, but it's so true. I mean, I've been in this industry for about 8 years. I think since, yeah, 2008. There's really no way you can fail with this. Your biggest thing is to get over yourself, is to get over your fears, is to get over your doubts, and to just get in and go to work. You know, that's your biggest thing, to get in and, you know, and get busy, and it will absolutely work for you.
Well, man, how do you follow that? It was awesome, Fontella. I'm so glad that you've been able to get on. I'm so, you know, and I thought we were so funny. I was going to send you a message. I'm like, how are we not Facebook friends? I thought we were.
I know, when I saw your friend request, I was shocked. I was like, I thought we were already friends.
You just can't keep up with all of it, but man, you hit on some amazing points there, because and I'll tell you, I was sitting here nodding, and there probably are some people on this Hangout that have been involved in other ventures, as the ladies on here have been too, and I will tell you, I've been in the business for a while too. I've been in internet marketing for not as long as you have, but for a long time, and MLM longer than that. And you know, I sat on it for a little bit too, because I'm not one to jump ship and jump into the next shiny gold thing. I like to look at things and see how they're progressing. You know, does it look like it has stability? I'm not much of a hype person either. And it's really fun, you know, I mean, I just completely resonated with that, because, you know, I did the same exact thing, and I'm right with you. I have done MLM, and I have done internet marketing. In fact, when you talk about the Google updates, I did do SEO and blogging, and the Google updates, they took my business away like that.
Same here.
And it hurt, people. I'm going to tell you, man, I cried. That hurt, and I was like, all that work that I did is like now gone, like in an instant. You know, so that really hurt, and you know, I did what I did, and I got back on board, and I started up, picked myself up from my bootstraps, and started up again, because you can do what you got to do, right? Absolutely. But that was not an easy thing to go through. You know, and with MLM, in traditional MLMs, you know, you're dealing with the attrition quite a bit. Not that, you know, you can build teams big, and you know, it's not a bad business to be in. It's a good business to be in, but it can be very difficult. And when they talk about going to the beach, if you've been in an MLM, everybody talks about going to the beach. Yeah. That's when you get to go to the beach someday. But you don't realize how many years it is going to take you to get there. Years and years. And you know, they talk about the executive level incomes, and I promise you, if you work hard, you might reach that level in 5 years.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
And Fontella, she'll tell you too. I mean, and some of you on here are going to say, yep. And I mean, yeah, that's one more, you think, looking at it, it's like, oh my gosh, you know, it's like, is it one more thing that I'm going to be sinking money into and nothing's going to come out? Although we did spend money on marketing, we did build up businesses, and we did receive income from doing that. But man, it got snatched away in a day.
Oh yeah. And that's the thing, Julie, with e-commerce, and it's what I always tell people. Infinii is an awesome company, and I'm not. This is not to bash any other companies or MLM or any traditional MLM companies, but Infinii is awesome. But things happen, and like I said, I've been in the industry a long time. I cannot tell you how many MLM companies I've seen go out of business. So if that were to happen with Infinii, God forbid, well, guess what? That really does not affect me because I have learned a skill set that, I can continue to use forever. I can continue to sell on eBay. I can continue to sell on Amazon, but, if your juice company or whatever lotion company or blogging company goes out of business, you have to find another company because you cannot continue to earn a commission from that company. Well, if something happens to Infinii, I can still continue to make money. So, even if you have another company that you are passionate about, if you are an entrepreneur, Infinii is still a company you want to become a part of so you can learn another skill set to learn how to earn money because nothing is guaranteed. Nothing. I'm telling you, in 8 years, I've seen tons of companies go out of business. So, the FTC can come in and shut anybody down, really. So, nothing is guaranteed. But, this is a skill set that you will have forever. So that's another reason why you want to be a part of this.
Agreed. Really excellent points there. And then that's one of the things that I absolutely it really did pull me to it as well. And I have people that were in my downline and in my list of people that were following me, and they were just interested in making an income, right? They were just interested in making money, like many of us are. We're looking for extra income. Mm-hmm. And these are skills, just like Fontella just said. I mean, God forbid, and I don't think it's going anywhere because they're doing the right things, but if something did happen to Infinii, unforeseeable, then you are still learning skill sets. We can still sell on eBay. We can still sell on Amazon. They teach you how to sell on Bonanza. If you're in Surge, you've got information that showing you how to build a Shopify store and get onto Shopify and sell on there. And so, you are learning skills that you can take with you and execute, outside of the Infinii internal space, if you will, but you can execute that outside of the company. So that's really important. That's unique to who we are, and that is a great thing to have. I absolutely love that point. And I honestly, it's funny because I tell people, I love the fact that we do have the MLM component to it because I do love to share this opportunity with other people because I think it is so important. It does give you a lot of independence, and it's nice that there's a plan in place where I can earn some extra income from right. Referring people and referring partners. But I tell people honestly that I sleep so much better at night knowing that my business is not dependent on and my income is not dependent on what other people are doing. Right. That's a side bonus for me. I like to build a team. I like to work with people. I like to help them and do that, and I do enjoy doing that, but my bottom line is not going to ride on that. Absolutely. So I sleep better at night.
Absolutely. No, I'm with you. That's an awesome point. And I'm that same way because like I said, being in this industry and things just shift. Your download can shift, overnight. They can join another leader. They can join another company, overnight. So it was very important. And that's, what was so attractive about, Infinii DSD to me is that I could build an income stream that I was responsible for. And it was not dependent on who stayed in my company or my downline.
Absolutely. Hey, ladies, do you have anything else that you want to add? We've been kind of blowing it up here for a while, Letitia or Tiffany. We're coming up at 9:45. I usually like to keep these between 45 minutes and 1 hour, so we respect people's time. Do you have anything else that you wanted to add into here while we're speaking? I'm going to go check the page and see if anybody's entered any comments that I can see.
No, Fontana, sorry, mine kind of weird here, but the information you gave us was amazing, and I just want to say that I completely agree with the fact that this company is building us up and teaching us something, and that has definitely been one of the reasons why I have grown from being like wary and afraid of it to just being so happy and so comfortable with doing it, is because they can't take away what they taught me if something goes wrong. I mean, it's there, and you know, anybody can really get value out of this, and the leadership and the support that we're able to give each other makes you want to stay with your groups and stay doing this. So thank you for putting all that input in.
Oh, you're welcome.
Awesomeness. Well, listen, guys, I'm not sure if Tiffany is still there or not. Tiff, if you're still there, feel free to jump out. In the meantime, I'm just going to tell anybody who's on here and listening to this that there is a link. If somebody invited you here and you are excited, you've gotten the information that you were looking for, and you're excited to get started, there is a link on the below the video here where you can click it to go ahead and join the person, whoever sent the link to you. There's a link to join them, and you can click that link right there. You can go ahead and get started. You'll be with the person who invited you, and if you do still have questions, you know, we are still here to answer them. You can go ahead. There's a comment section below this video that's playing right now on this page. You could go ahead and enter comments in there. Anything that we didn't cover that you wanted us to cover and we didn't. If there's other topics that you would really like us to cover, to talk about, feel free to let us know. We're just here to give you our perspective. We are people that decided to get involved with Infinii, what DSD, some of us beforehand moved on with Infinii. So we've gotten involved with this business. We had fears about doing it. We shared what those were. Our perspectives have really changed now with respect to what e-commerce can do for you, what it's done for all of us, what we've seen for it doing for our team members as well. And we're just super excited to share that with people. So unless anybody has anything left that they want to say, if y'all want to just say one more thing, then we'll go ahead and call it a night. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Remember, Wednesday nights at 9 o'clock Eastern is when we hold these. If you are a partner that is in our team, you can share this with people that are looking at this business, and we can give you information about how to do that. So again, leave comments for us in the comment section. Thank you so much for taking time out joining us tonight.
Julie,
And if anybody's got anything left to say, just go right ahead.
Yeah, Julie, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I just saw in the chat Georgia was saying to mention to you about addressing the fear of what other people will think.
What other people will think.
Yeah.
About what I'm trying to go in here about what other people will think about what you're about you joining an e-commerce business. You know, I was a little concerned about that in the beginning when I was with another company, because I was strictly focusing on internet marketing and a way to teach people how to do internet marketing. And I didn't market this. I didn't market it right away. I was easing into it and going kind of slow. So I guess I was a little worried about what people would think about, number one, me jumping ship, but number two was she's completely going into this other, like, doing e-com. What is that? Like, some people look at that as beneath them. I mean, I would say a lot of marketers would look at that as beneath them. Oh, you're just doing e-commerce. Well, look at me, I'm an internet marketer. I mean, honestly, some people do have that mentality. That is real. And for a while, I did worry about that a little bit, just to be honest. But then I was talking to people and colleagues that had gotten involved, and I saw that they were be able to have quick successes with it. I saw people who were able to generate success quicker, and I just saw that really why I just dropped that and I didn't care anymore was because there were so many people who were in my list. They didn't want to learn internet marketing. They didn't want to learn really how to do that. They did. They did, and they didn't. Really, when you get to the bottom of it, they really just wanted to learn how to make money. They wanted to learn how to bring more money into their household and add to their bottom line. And that really was what drove me finally, was because I said, I can't just be thinking about what other people are going to be thinking about me doing that. Who cares? If I'm able to help more people, if I want to refer people and still do the marketing, if I'm at the end of the day, if I can help more people with this than I can with what I'm currently doing, well then shame on me if I don't do it. And so I just got over myself, got involved, and took the I don't know if it's the red pill or the blue pill, or whatever pill it was that got me into that mindset is what I did, and then I just really didn't worry about it anymore. But yeah, you know, in the beginning, just to be honest, I was a little bit worried about that. But listen, you know, if there's marketers out there or people who want to learn marketing, one thing I'm going to tell you, I'm going to share this too. Don't discount e-commerce, because here's what Fontella and I will tell you. Marketing does cost money. You do need to have a marketing budget. It can be smaller, you know, but you do have, you're going to need to get some tools. You're going to need to get some training. You're going to have to maybe spend some, you know, money on pay-per-click or SEO tool or whatever it is. So if you want to learn that, that is awesome. I mean, it's a great field. I'm not going to deny that. It is great. There's some great, marketing is wonderful. It can be a great income. But listen, you could use e-commerce as a way to fund your marketing. I want you to think about it like that too. If that's a hang up for you, this isn't marketing. You can use this to fund your venture into marketing, fund your training, fund your tools. Think about it like that. So once I started thinking about it like that too, again, like I was able to get out of my own way and not really care what people thought, and in the long run, it was the best decision I ever made. So how are we all doing? Letitia, you got anything left to say?
Well, I was just gonna to add in there real quick. You know, I think another point that Georgia wanted us to make about being worried about what other people think is like with your family and friends, and you tell them that you're selling on eBay, that maybe they'll have that attitude like, really, do you really think that's smart? Like, is that just another Avon booklet going around? And even like myself, I was like, oh, I don't want my friends and family to know. It's not their business. They're gonna like pick on me about it. But you know, first of all, it's not their business, and it is for me and for my family, and not for other people all the time. And even like when we told my mother-in-law, who has her own business and is successful in a way that my husband and I have not been yet, she was like, oh, you're selling stuff online. Is that coming out of your pockets? You know, her concern was, are we wasting money? Not that we were doing it. And we're like, no, actually, it's, you know, not coming out of our pockets. We're having the people pay for it, and then we're buying it at a better deal for them. And then she was like, oh, okay, well, if it works, it makes you happy. And after that, it was like, you know what? My mother-in-law improves and doesn't think it's a big deal. So it really doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. And I think that's really a mindset that we all have to get into, is that it doesn't really matter what other people think if it works for us.
Great point. That's right. Because you know what? If it's working for you, guess what? You're happy. And and then at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, because when you're happy because you're doing well and you're able to do the things that you want to do, and you're able to spend time with your family, and you're able to follow your passions, at the end of the day, then you really, because you're so happy with that, then it really matters less and less if people think what you're doing is, you know, hoo-ha. Then it just doesn't matter anymore, because you're like, well, okay, whatever. But
Yeah.
I'm happy and I'm doing good and I'm feeling fine. So okay.
Yeah, and you know, to add to that, I would rather fail my way to success over and over again. And you know, I know what Georgia means when you have people who are familiar with you, and people who are familiar with your past, and they know, you know, that you failed in the last 5, 6 ventures because you probably tried to recruit them in the last 5 or 6, you know, ventures. So you're kind of apprehensive about that. But to what Letitia said, you really have to get over that, because people's opinions really don't matter, you know, at the end of the day. And I know we've seen that, you know, saying before, flying around on Facebook about trying to pay your bills with the opinions of people. You know, it just doesn't matter. And as long as you are pursuing something, you're successful. You know, I think it's Earl Nightingale who says that you know, success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. I may be misquoting it, but I think that's it. So pretty much in my own vernacular, as long as you have something that you are pursuing every day, you're trying to improve upon every day, then you are successful. And so I would rather pursue something and fail, and you know what, get right back up and pursue something again, because I'm trying to reach a worthy ideal, than to listen to the opinions of other people who are stuck. I don't take opinions from people who are living a life that I don't want. So if you don't have the lifestyle that I want, then your opinion doesn't matter to me. So you just have to really get over that and just keep pursuing and keep going. And you know what? Work in silence and let your success make the noise. Because when you get to the level that you want to be at, the same people, family and friends who've ridiculed you before are going to come back to you and ask you, what are you doing and how did you do it? You know, that's just the way that it works. So, you know, just keep going, keep pursuing. I don't care if it's your 20th company, who cares? If you are pursuing success, keep going. But sometimes, you know, you may have to keep it to yourself and stop looking for approval and validation from family and friends. You know, stop looking for that and just, you know, pursue what it is that you want.
You've got to be a motivational speaker, Fontella. I mean, you are just you speak so well, really, and you speak with such clarity and such focus. I mean, and what you said was just absolutely amazing. I mean, and that is the way I look at life too. I mean, you cannot have success without failure. You can't. And yes, people have probably shaken their head and how long are you going to do this for, and what are you trying now? And you know, that really didn't matter to me so much, because I knew I wanted to learn something different. I knew I didn't want to be stuck in corporate. I knew I wanted to escape from that. I knew what I wanted, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to get it anywhere else. And yes, I have had a lot of failures too. Anybody who's successful has. You can't possibly have success without failure, right?
Absolutely.
Otherwise, it would all be successful. That's nobody's story. That's just not the way the world works. And you can't learn, you can't grow, you can't get to success without failure. So, as they say, you know, fail forward and put a smile on.
Absolutely.
Well, that was an awesome hangout tonight. I am so glad y'all were here on here with me, and I really enjoyed it. I know people got a lot of value out of this hangout and out of this information. Thank you all, ladies, for taking your time out, for being on the panel. I really appreciate that. I know everybody on the team and everybody listening appreciates that. And everyone, listen, if you are looking to get involved with Infinii, the yellow link is there. You can go ahead and press that. You can get involved. If you have more questions, please contact the person that invited you to this Hangout. Ask them questions. They sent you this link for a reason. They want to have a conversation. They want to give you some information. And certainly, if you would like more information from any of us or want us to cover any additional topics, please do put that in the comments section. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. And we will call it a night. Thank you all. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you. Good night.
Bye.